Zoonomaly, a creepy, monster-filled game, is something I never expected to see in what seemed like an ordinary game. Zoonomaly manages to take your favorite animals and turn them into your worst nightmare that will send shivers down your spine. It's amazing that this game has finally come to life. And luckily for us, it holds some dark secrets, so let's take a look at what went down in this game and what it all means, because there's a lot to unravel. The game starts with a mission briefing, which gives us a ton of information about what's happening and what's to come. This job will be carried out by the Keepers of Blue Morta. This anomalous mission number 3117, this number might confirm that such events are not happening for the first time. Before this, there could have been another 3,000 anomalous missions, which is insanely mind-boggling to think about. So our location, Albarello Zoo, which of course is not in the real world, but here comes the question. Are we even on planet Earth? The mission's codename is Zoonomaly, which obviously means Zoo Anomaly. We are a new team. However, our name is edited in the file, which is interesting. This may indicate that we are some kind of special forces, and it's important that we remain anonymous in case this ever gets into the hands of the public. But I'll say, this is a very extreme mission for a rookie. So what happened here? This zoo has been overrun by monsters from another dimension, which makes me wonder, how did they get here? Their dimension is called Blue Mora. Now, the game doesn't offer much information about this dimension, but we can make a few assumptions. Given its name, the term bloom is associated with flowers. It's because flowers, as we know, bloom aka bloom, so this may mean that the Blue Mora dimension is somehow related to flowers. This is further evidenced by the shape of the blooming machine, as it has the shape of flower petals, and also the tool we use has a smooth shape like flower petals. So, given the flower theme, there must be a connection to what is said. The use of light plays an important role in the game, and the word blooming can also be described as shining and glowing. It makes sense. Considering we use light to stun monsters, the blue machine also emits light energy, so instead of flowers, the Blue Mora dimension could be a place full of light energy. This is clearly more likely, but more on that later in the video. And now the machine to stop the monster invasion is locked behind a massive door in the zoo. Someone has broken the key to this door into 20 shards and hidden them throughout the zoo enclosures. Unfortunately for us, whoever hid the key shards didn't make it easy to find or even reach them. We have significantly altered the zoo by building large constructions inside the animal enclosures that will puzzle our minds. This will significantly complicate the retrieval of key shards. Our task is to restore all 20 shards, reassemble the key, and put an end to everything that causes this monster invasion. Now, interestingly, someone has altered the zoo, and that means someone must be on the side of the monsters. Considering this information and the written words we see at the beginning of the game, I think it's safe to say that people must be on the side of the monsters too, and they are guilty here, as if someone is helping these monsters. To carry out our mission, we also have the Bloom O-Bang tool. This is an extremely important tool for our defense. Its powerful beam of light can scare off monsters and even push away physical objects. This tool also has something else unique. It's equipped with a colored screen with night vision, which will allow us to see the invisible radiation emitted by something from Blue Mora. This means we'll be able to see monsters through this screen and other objects that will help us solve puzzles, such as invisible boards. Regular light bulbs are used in Blue Bang, which can be found all over the zoo, so obviously, we humans built this. If what I said earlier is true regarding the 3,000 other missions before this one we're in, we're already familiar with the monsters and how they operate. Just need to keep that in mind as we start the game. We arrive at the zoo. The first thing we see is a locked door with the words "Stay away" written in green paint. We'll often see this green paint everywhere. In the game, we use the Blue Bang to blast the door open and proceed into the zoo. As we pass through the main gates, we'll see the zoo's anomaly sign, which replaced the scattered around letters of Albarello Zoo. You'll also notice something very important interesting. There are a lot more writings in green paint here, which give us some clues as to what might be happening here. The most important and giant words we see written say that my children live here and let me build my sanctuary with other lesser people reading Vacation We Are Alone and stay away from my children. This is very interesting because it's obvious that someone human is involved in this. It seems that perhaps another person wants to leave these monsters here. Maybe they're somehow linked to how they got here in the first place. This person thinks the monsters must be their children, so it would make sense that the sanctuary is defined as a refuge or safe place. So I think it's obvious that this person is using the zoo as a safe place for monsters. It's their new sanctuary. Now the game is non-linear, so you can explore the zoo in any direction. As we progress through the zoo and solve puzzles to find all the keys, we encounter some pretty creepy monsters. I won't go into detail about them because that's a whole different video, but I want to mention that each monster doesn't have official names in the game, but we can guess what they represent based on how they look. Now there are both friendly and unfriendly monsters. Some of the first types you'll notice are the giant zookeepers. These guys patrol the zoo and will constantly attack you if you encounter them. Several friendly monsters that resemble frogs in some way, and these guys look like some giant lizards. Some of the unfriendly monsters are much scarier. Among them are such monsters as giant bear Slenderman or angry monstrous monkeys. There's also a huge fish or whale inhabiting the water enclosure. A few more include a giant rabbit that likes to hide its face. There's also a giant smiling cat and much more. But all these monsters have something in common. They all have massive mouths with extremely long and sharp teeth. It's obviously a design choice, but it's cool to see that they all have similar features. It unites all the monsters, so now there's no confusion. After we collect all 20 key shards, we'll finally be able to open the massive door of the object, which hides what's keeping these monsters here. Once we enter, we descend underground and discover the blooming machine guarded by an evil cat monster using the Blue-Mo Bang, which we need to stun the monster and flip all the right levers to be able to shut down the machine. Once we do that, we've completed our mission. And what does this machine really do? You can notice one thing. The shape of the machine, which I mentioned earlier, it looks very much like Blue-Mo Bang. When the machine is turned on, it emits green light, which creates some sort of energy source or radiation. You may notice that glowing spots from the machine can also be seen around some monsters. This is what's keeping them here. They'll be transported back to their dimension. However, this raises a few questions. Did someone build this, or did it land here in some UFO? I suppose someone built it. Considering the inscription we saw at the beginning of the game, I think it was someone's plan from the beginning to build a machine capable of transporting monsters from another dimension, and using the zoo would be the perfect place for their safety. After we turn off the machine, we've completed our mission. We received another letter from Ellis Edelman, Director of Operations. It says that we've successfully completed our mission after disabling the blue machine under the zoo. The monsters have been returned to their dimension. They'll send a team to retrieve the machine for further study and start work. About restoring the zoo, they'll be in touch, which means there might be another game, but here it's important that they're going to study the machine, so this may mean that it could have come from another dimension, or they just want to study what someone else built, but I'll let you decide. What do you guys think of Zoonomaly? Did you like it? I'll say some of the puzzles are extremely tiresome, and solving them felt almost tedious, but otherwise, the game was really cool, visually it was stunning, and the developer did a really good job creating something unique and new for the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.